Hello, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. Colonic Stacker and Andre Gilbert had made me aware of what was happening in Germany, and it's starting to hit over major media outlets. But Zero Hedge here has this article talking about how there is a bomb that will be diffused in Germany, if it's not already been diffused as of the recording of this video. But quite interesting indeed that 60,000 residents of Germany's financial capital, Frankfurt, were evacuated so that they can defuse this bomb. And so quite interesting. Some of these pictures are quite intriguing here. But I think the fascinating portion of this is how different media treat this story. And of course, the major story is obviously the evacuation and the saving of human lives and where the bomb was located, obviously, to a threat to people. But obviously, the media sources that we like to read and see here obviously understand the value of gold. And so in the title here, it says the vault containing $70 billion in German gold is to be evacuated as Frankfurt diffuses massive bomb. So quite interesting indeed. Let's go through this. I think the Zero Hedge article is probably the most comprehensive of the news sources that I've seen on this. And it was discovered in a local building site. So I guess we're constructing something. And the 1.4-ton HC-4000 bomb, it's a World War II bomb, dropped by the British Air Force during World War II, was uncovered on a building site in Westmarer-Strasse in Frankfurt's leafy West End, where many wealthy bankers live. Interesting. And so talking about how we have never diffused a bomb of this size, a bomb disposal expert Rene Benart told Reuters, adding that it had been damaged on impact when it dropped between 1943 and 1945. Bomb disposal experts who examined it said the massive evacuation could wait until this weekend. We are still working on the modalities of the evacuation plan. I'm not sure if I pronounced that word right. And but as a result, ahead of Sunday's planned evacuation, so it's occurring probably as I record this video, more than 100 hospital patients, including premature infants and those in intensive care, were evacuated from 2 Frankfurt hospitals on Saturday. City Councilor Marcus Frank told Reuters television. Every year, more than 2,000 tons of live bombs and munitions are still found in Germany, even under buildings. In July, a kindergarten was evacuated after teachers discovered an unexploded World War II bomb on the shelf among some toys. During World War II, Germany was pummeled by 1.5 million tons of bombs from British and American warplanes that killed 600,000 people. German officials estimate 15% of those bombs failed to explode, some burning 6 meters deep. Wow. While local residents have been eager to comply with an unprecedented evacuation since the war, Frankfurt fire and police chiefs said that they would use force and incarceration if necessary to clear the area of residents, warning that an uncontrolled explosion of a bomb would be big enough to flatten a city block. Wow, that's powerful. Frankfurt's residents have to clear the area by 8 a.m. on Sunday, and police will ring every doorbell and use helicopter with heat-sensing cameras to make sure nobody's left behind before they start defusing the bomb. And that's kind of scary in and of itself if you think about that. That they have the technology to find out who is where, and they can tell. So if you try to hide and not leave, they can find out. I guess that makes you consider that those who build bunkers deep underneath the ground, these crazy preppers maybe have something here. If they can find you through heat sensing cameras to make sure nobody's left behind. Where this otherwise trivial evacuation takes on a more sinister, die-harder spin is when looking at what other structures are impacted by the 1.5 kilometer evacuation radius. Those include Frankfurt's Goethe University, police headquarters, 2 hospitals, transport systems, and the Bundesbank headquarters, which is reminder 10 days ago completed the acceleration repatriation of 674 tons of gold. some 3 years ahead of schedule from New York and Paris to its vault deep underground. So according to Reuters, which we'll look at that story in a minute, the Bundesbank vault, which stores 1,710 tons of gold deep underground, approximately half the country's reserved, is located less than 600 meters from the location of the bomb. Well, that particular vault now holds $70 billion in gold, including $28 billion in freshly repatriated physical and everything around it. It is about to be evacuated. All that's missing are several dozen dump trucks to take advantage of the massive evacuation that will leave thousands of gold bars without security for 1.5 kilometers in any direction. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And here we see an image of some of the gold marked at the Bundesbank here. Wow. While airspace for 1.5 kilometers around the bomb will be closed, we doubt that will prove a major hurdle to anyone eager to take a stab at a real-life reincarnation of the second Die Hard movie. Still, to prevent anyone from getting ideas following in Simon Gruber's footsteps, a spokesman for the German Bundesbank said that the usual security arrangements would remain in place while experts worked out to disarm the bomb. So it's not going to happen, and I figured that would probably be the case. Just a little embellishment there in that story. The fate of half of Germany's gold aside, bomb disposal experts said they will make use of a rocket wrench to try and unscrew the fuses attached to the HC-4000 bomb. If that fails, a water jet will be used to cut the fuses away from the bomb. The most dangerous part of the exercise will be applying the wrench. Roads and transport systems, including the underground, will be closed during the work for at least 2 hours after the bomb is defused, to allow patients to be transported back to hospitals without traffic. It is not unusual for unexploded bombs from World War II air raids to be found in German cities, but rarely are they so large and in such a sensitive position. Wow. Meanwhile, Frankfurters can spend the day at shelters set up on the fair trade along the whatever that name is, Jar Hunderhall Convention Center. Most museums are offering residents free entry on Sunday. A few of them will open their doors earlier in the morning than usual. So that's very nice. There's that article, and here is a reference Reuters article. And keep in mind, this is world news, and Reuters is more of a of a world. You know, they have some world news too. So it's in the title here too. But huge WW2 bombs to be defused close to German gold reserves. And so this is where the source for a lot of the information is. But I did find this quite interesting here, because a lot of the Zero Hedge article is commentary based off of this article. But they talk about here, let's see, actually it's not in this article, but I did find this from CNN. The CNN article here talks about Frankfurt evacuates thousands for World War II bomb disposal. But it doesn't mention gold, at least in this, for a while down it. And I didn't read the whole article, but it talks about where it's at. You can see there, the process of defusing the bomb began Sunday afternoon while police removed additional Frankfurt residents who had yet to leave the evacuation zone. And there's some of that same picture and some of the evacuation occurring that you can see there. But I did find that they don't mention gold in here. I'm looking, I don't see any mention of gold. And it seems like Western media doesn't seem to care too much about gold. I haven't checked any other news sources, but I found this was quite interesting, that this article here, let's see here, if they do mention it, it's further down in the article. I found that was quite fascinating. 2 main shelters. The city is using many activities. Here's one of the shelters here in place where people can go. And more talks about their activities and the like. It talks about the legacy of the war. And we read about many of that in the previous article. But this was interesting. It says on Christmas Day 2016, another 50,000 were evacuated from Augsburg in South Germany after a 1.8-ton bomb was found underneath an underground parking garage. And I don't remember that story, but that's quite interesting indeed. So there you have it, but I don't see anywhere where this talks about gold. It just goes to show you how important gold is to many of us, but yet how unimportant it is to many in the West, and certainly for Western media. So that portion of the news and in this whole situation is quite interesting, I've found. And I'm just looking up here again to see if there's any mention of gold here in this article. And I don't see it. Anyways, post your thoughts below about this development. Quite interesting indeed. Will the gold be safe in Germany, in Frankfurt? I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude, y'all, for watching. I encourage you to please rate, comment, and subscribe.